Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam, T S Sudhir is my name. A question that I routinely get asked is why is it that I forget what I study? Why is it that I'm not able to retain what I study before an examination? So, in this video, I'm going to tell you about simple techniques that will help you retain and reproduce effectively in the examination whatever you have studied. The point number one is that you should not just read. My advice to you is to write, even if it means writing only the keywords, let's say in a definition, the keywords that are at the heart of the explanation of a particular concept, or let's say an event in history, or let's say a particular system of governance in civics, right? So that's how you need to write the keywords. And when you write the keywords on a sheet of paper, trust me, this brain is like a camera. It will kind of capture that, and that you will be able to remember while you are writing the examination कि मैंने top right पे ये particular word वहाँ लिखा था उस दिन. This visual memory, trust me, and I'm saying this from experience, personal experience, from the experience of all my students, that this actually works wonders. So please make it a habit to write, keep a pen and paper and keep writing as you read. It will really help you. Now, sometimes reading from a book may not work very well for you. I know it for a fact that my daughter Tejaswini always liked the concept to be read out to her or to be read out to her from a book. She would hardly ever read from a book herself. Okay, now I'm sure that kind of a way of studying will never work for me. I like to read myself. So different techniques can work for different people. So you need to decide what works best for you. In banks, we have something called the KYC, know your customer. You need to have KYB, know your brain. What works best for your brain, you should adopt that method, not just because your friend or some other classmate is adopting a particular way of studying. So that is something you need to do in order to stimulate your brain in the best possible manner. After all, that's finally the target, right? Point number 3. When you study a topic, try explaining it to a friend or classmate who may not be very comfortable understanding that topic. Now that friend would feel that देखो कितना भला मानस है मेरी help कर रहा है, but actually you would be helping yourself, because while you are trying to explain it to that friend or classmate, you would be doing your own revision, and उस समय पर आपके कुछ gaps होंगे तो आपको वो पता चल जाएगा. You would be able to realize if there are any gaps in your own understanding when you're trying to explain it to a third person. Okay, this is again a very important technique. I'm giving you a range of options. You need to choose which one you would want to adopt. Now, it's quite possible that your parents may say, नहीं नहीं नहीं, किसी दोस्त से बात करने की जरूरत नहीं है, don't waste your time. Then in that case, what you should do is to get your younger sibling, if you have one, जबरदस्ती बिठाओ, say you got to listen to the entire chapter of circulatory system. मैं तुमको आंख और कान के बारे में सब बताऊंगा आज. Okay, so do that. Sense organs, circulatory system, nervous system, whatever, right? Get a younger sibling to listen to you. If that also does not work, if you don't have a sibling, stand in front of the mirror or sit in front of the mirror and talk to that person whose reflection you are seeing in the mirror. Do that. When you read it aloud, when you are explaining, you read it, now you're trying to explain it to another person, to your own reflection, it will help you retain all that much better in your mind. Because when you're doing so, you'll also keep using the keywords that are so critical for you to score good marks. Okay. Finally, you need to test yourself. Many of us fail to test ourselves better. We keep buying different books which are available in the market, which are nothing much more than a rehash of many of the PYQs. Don't do that. Either go for pre-board papers of other schools or choose books or tests like SWS. We don't do for all subjects. We do only subjects where we are very confident. So you can look at the SWS. We are calling them the success test papers. You can ask any of your seniors what's the quality of the test papers. So these are prepared by subject experts. So test करना अपने आप को जरूरी है, and preferably chapter wise. That makes it even more of a targeted approach. But सिर्फ टेस्ट करना काफी नहीं है. It's not enough to just test yourself. When you test yourself, okay, you need to also follow it up with a post-mortem. Now it could happen that you may get, let's say, 8 out of 10 in a test, any test for that matter. Okay, it's very important, and you cannot say, "Arey, mere 8 aa gaye," No, you need to go back and see where did you lose the 2 marks, why did you lose the 2 marks, how did you lose the 2 marks, did you not know it, or was it because of a careless mistakes, whatever. You need to go back and try to see why and where and how you lost those 2 marks. Now, it's also possible that you may have done some tukkebazi in 2 other questions. So actually you may have known only 6 answers, but 2 marks extra you got because you did some guesswork. So you need to go back to those 2 marks also and try to cover up. Always go in for that 100% preparation. Don't go in for percentage study, so that your preparation is 100%. अभी आखिर के 2 महीने रह गए हैं, I mean, or less than 2 months in many cases. This is the time for you to get serious. And this is the time for you to know what will work best for me in order to retain. Because the trick is all about retention. कि जितना मैंने पढ़ा है, क्या मैं उन सभी बातों को याद रख सकता हूं या नहीं. Whether I am able to memorize and remember and recollect in the examination hall what all I have studied. That's important. So it's very important to learn from your mistakes. In fact, you always learn much more from your mistakes and failures than from your success stories. In fact, I always say that I don't want my students to score 100% in the pre-board examinations. I want them to make mistakes, because only when you make mistakes, you'll be more careful about what you should not do in the board examination. That's very important. Okay, so I hope this video was of use. So implement this. Let me know which method works best for you. All the best. Tata. Bye-bye.